Is it biblical for a woman to marry a younger man, or does it distort God's order?
My name is Brethren Chinesai. Ndinogara kuwater falls ndinopindura zvakare kuwater falls section. Ndine mubvunzo wandakasara ndinawo pamakatidzidzisa in admonition musi 21 November. Admonition inonzi iyo the prince of this world. In this admonition, Apostle taught us a lot of things. Asi pane zvamaka-explaina, pane zvamakatanga muchitaura about the way of conducting my relationships in JRM and the way the procedure yekuroorana in JRM. Mukati makataura zvakawanda posto zvinochengetedza vana vechidiki zvese nevabvezera in JRM in the area of marriages and relationships. I'm so grateful for that message, Apostle. As question endakasara ndinayo ndipamakazoti when two people want to get married and the lady is older, makati even ari older ne 2 years, you will not allow that relationship. So Apostle, that's where my question is, kuti pakutamba kwedrama raKristu zvikange zvakadaro kuti mukadzi ari mumbi zvinenge zvakashata here uye biblically kuna mwariwo zvakadii kuti zvinge zvakadaro? How is it bad? Zvakaipa chii? Ndikuti ndaapostoli mukana unono wekubvunza maita zvenyu.
All right, Brethren Chinesai. Why is it not right for a woman to be married to a younger man into a marriage? Yes, Brother Nelson, aunzwere mvunzo.
Ndamunzwa mvunzo. Mvunzo wavo ndofunga pano kunonge vane pavasiyawo maybe vari kurevera vari vakatopinda mazviri here kana kuti vari kuda kuzozviita.
Okay. Yeah, that's another option. That's another approach which we can also use to answer this question. My dear Chinesai, I hope you are here awake tonight as I respond to this question. I want to say between the spiritual and the physical does not set a standard for the spiritual. It is the spiritual that sets out a standard for the physical. Because the scriptures are clear in telling us that the physical is temporary while the spiritual is permanent. 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 18.
While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal.
The scriptures also tell us that the physical is subject to vanity. And that is according to Romans chapter 8 verse 19 to 23.
For the earnest expectation of the creature waits for the manifestation of the sons of God. For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who has subjected the same in hope.
So we can remove the word creature there and say creation.
Yes.
Right.
Creation was made subject to vanity.
Yes.
Not voluntarily.
Yes.
It's an act of God.
Yes.
But by reason of him who had subjected the same in hope.
Yes.
Now, you can go to Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 1 and 2. It is clear, vanity of vanities. The words of the preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem.
Yes.
Vanity of vanities, says the preacher. Vanity of vanities. All is vanity.
Yes.
So the word vain, it means of no value. The word vain, it means of no significance.
Yes.
The word vain, it means a waste of time to commit to such things.
Yes.
So our physical marriages are vain because they are sin, and by so doing, applying the standard of 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 18, once something is a sin, it is temporal.
Yes.
The things that are sin are temporal, the things which are not sin are eternal. Our marriages are temporal. That's why even when you are signing a marriage contract, they make what they call marriage vows.
Yes.
Until death do us part.
Yes.
Which means this contract is meant to end. Nobody marries forever.
Yes.
So what we then have to understand is, if the spiritual is the real marriage between Christ and the church, and the spiritual pre-existed the physical, then what it means is the pattern that we are supposed to follow, our own physical marriages should follow the pattern of the spiritual marriage.
Yes.
They have to conform to the spiritual marriage. The marriage is between a man and his wife. According to Ephesians 5:32, 31 and 32, it's a great mystery concerning Christ and the church. What is wrong in a woman getting married to a man who is younger than her? Let us look at this question from the spiritual perspective and then come back to the physical.
Yes.
We know the man is Christ, the woman is the church.
Yes.
What is wrong in Christ marrying a church that is older than him? Chi chakaipa kuti Kristu arore chechi yakamutangira kuvapo.
Yes.
Kureva kuti chechi iyi yakaona ucheche hwemwene wayo, ikatomboona achiberekwa kumusana,
Yes.
ikati kana akura achazondiroora. The implications are so dire. If the church can exist before Christ, it means that the church does not need Christ to exist. Who would have established it in the first place? The church is a byproduct of the suffering of Christ.
Yes.
That's why the Bible in Colossians chapter 1 verse 18, it describes Jesus as the firstborn from the dead.
Yes.
Even Romans chapter 8 verse 29,
Yes.
that he may become firstborn among many brethren.
Yes.
Christ is firstborn, first to exist.
Yes.
1 John chapter 1 verse 1, 1 John chapter 1 verse 1.
Yes,
That which was from the beginning.
Yes. Which
So
we
Christ was from the beginning.
Yes.
We were not in the beginning.
Yes.
We were not from the beginning.
Yes.
We were created much later. So that we can worship an already existing God.
Yes.
Because Christ is God. So what is wrong is that it creates a message that takes away the founding principles of the doctrine of Christ. The church cannot exist before Christ exists, because it takes Christ to establish the church. It takes Christ to build the church.
Yes.
It takes Christ to birth the church. The church is a child of Jesus Christ. That's why the church cannot be older than its own founder.
Yes.
So Jesus said, upon this rock I will build my church. In Matthew 16 verse 18. The church was not yet there,
Yes.
but he was already there. Upon this rock I will build my church.
Yes.
Adam was established, he was created. Genesis chapter 2 verse 7. And God formed man from the dust of the ground, and he blew into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. In verse number 15, and God put man into the garden to dress it and to keep it.
Yes.
So Adam started to live in Genesis chapter 2 verse 7.
Yes.
Eve started to live in Genesis chapter 2 verse number 23.
Yes.
Now, the question is asking, what is wrong in putting Adam in verse 23 and putting Eve in verse number 7? Zvakashata chi kuti Eve aitewo kutanga, Adam agozogadzirwa nembabvu yaEva. Because between the man and the woman, one is coming out from the other.
Yes.
The man is not from the woman. The woman is from the man. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 7 and 8.
For a man indeed ought not to cover his head, for as much as he is the image and glory of God, but the woman is the glory of the man. For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man.
The man is not from the woman,
Yes.
but the woman is from the man.
Yes.
That's not what we are hearing today. When they are doing Mother's Day, they say, without women, the world will be empty. That is not true.
Yes.
According to scripture, a man was not brought out from the woman. The woman came out from man.
Yes.
Which means life begins with a man.
Yes.
Life does not begin with a womb, with a woman. It's a heretic message.
Yes.
We love to celebrate our mothers. We should celebrate them. We should appreciate them.
Yes.
They are important to us. But let us not tilt scriptures. Let us not pervert scriptures in our bid to glorify our mothers.
Yes.
The man is not from the woman,
Yes.
but the woman from the man. If the woman came from the man, what it means is you can't come from something that is younger than you. You can't come from something that is younger than you.
Yes.
You can't come from something that you pre-existed.
Yes.
Eve came out from Adam.
Yes.
That is why Adam is older than Eve. By asking, is it wrong? What is wrong in having a woman older than a husband? It's now saying the man is now coming from the woman.
Yes.
That is not allowed. It's a very, very strange message to the doctrine of Christ.
Yes.
So this is the structure, this is the plan. We are looking at the plan, and when we look at the spiritual marriage, it is the plan for the physical marriage. The man is older than the woman because the woman came out from the man. When we come to the physical marriage, we must see that represented well. When we see a woman getting married to a man who is younger than her, that marriage does not exist in the scriptures. That is not a marriage. I see story marriage here.
Yes.
I see serial marriage. So there are two things, Brother Nelson.
Yes.
We have people who got married into these marriages before they got saved. They don't have issues with God. You don't have to do anything about it. because God will forgive the days of ignorance.
Yes.
But if you got saved and you find a boy asking you for your love, and you realize that this boy is younger than you, if you marry that boy, you are actually proving that you don't believe.
Yes.
Because there is that creature is not a marriage.
Yes.
It's a Dracula. How old are you? I am 34. How old is your husband? 29. Tofiakwa. That's not your husband. He is your child.
Yes.
You are abusing a minor. That boy has no capacity to lead a family with you. The husband is the head of the marriage. He is the brains behind the direction that the marriage must take.
Yes.
This one is your child. He can't tell you anything. You know everything. You know better. He can't lead you. You can't be led by someone who knows less than you know. Whether we are talking about managing finances, raising children, or intimate stuff, you are teaching him everything. In what way then is he a husband to you? You must not tell people that you have a husband. Tell people that you have a child that you are living with. Pane mwana wandiri kugara naye. Haasi murume. Izwi kuti murume rinoreva kuti mutungamiriri wangu. Uye haasi mutungamiriri.
Yes.
Nekuti iwe unoziva zvinhu zvakawanda kumudarika.
Yes.
We do not allow that, and we shall never allow that.
Yes.
If we have believers who do that even after we have advised against, we would rather punish them or chase them out of the church.
Yes.
Because by disobeying instructions, they are proving they don't believe. What's your problem? Marry a man who can take care of you. Marry a man who can lead a family. Marry a man who can be the father to your children. Not a boy who is going to be one of your children. No, that is not allowed. It's heretic.
Yes.
It's heretic. Azviiteba. Zvese zvamunenge muchiita unonge uchitomufonyora brain. Iwo ndiwo unonge uchimutungamirira. Ngatichiitai zvakati, ngatichiitai zvakati. Kwewo varume vezera rako vapera here? You can't marry someone who is less than 3 years younger than you.
Yes.
Mba. Azviiteba. Kana wanga waida kutoroora izvezvi wotosiyana naye. Tamai vakwavo. Hakuna mukadzi akadai. Unoona mukadzi wekuti anotyiwa naamwe nekutumwa kumvura. Anonzi kana musisina zvokuita kana mukakwanisa mukazorochera zvenyu mvura kana ndikanonoka kudzoka kuni asi ndikauya on time ndinonochera ndega. Pachinzvimbo chekuti angonzi muroora ita anochera mvura naamwene vanenge vachimutya nezera rake. I think this one is answered.
When God's design is understood, confusion gives way to peace, and marriage finds its true purpose again. If this teaching blessed you, please like the video, share it with others, leave a comment below, and subscribe for more Bible Nuggets teachings. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss the next teaching.